Hi guys, Rewind Mike here with another fantastic review. Now, as I said in my previous video for Darkwing Duck, I told you guys that February is Disney, Capcom, Nintendo month. So all month long I'm going to be reviewing some of the greatest games that Capcom got to work on for Disney on the NES. Now, with Valentine's Day right around the corner, I figured I might as well just review The Little Mermaid because it is a story about two people who have fallen in love, really, and they try to do whatever they can to make that love last. Like I said, it's still a fantastic game, and I think everybody should play it. And we're just going to jump right into this review here, and I hope you guys enjoy. When people think Little Mermaid, an NES game is the last thing that comes to mind. Well, today I am here to change that. I remember when I was younger, I used to love playing this game as a kid, and it was one of those games you really didn't tell your friends that you kind of enjoyed playing because, well, it was The Little Mermaid, and it was one of those Disney movies that wasn't really intended for, boys to watch, I guess, but, it was a Disney movie, and like any Disney movie, they were all really good back then. Now they're kind of shoddy, and some of them are hit or miss, but that's neither here nor there. Now, developed by Capcom and released in 1991, it's so easy to pick up and play for anyone of any age. The B button helps you swim fast and dodge those pesky fish heads, while the A button has a ton of different functions depending on the situation. While swimming, it will swish Ariel's tail and allow her to form a bubble that will trap fish and such so that they can be used as a weapon. It's also used to jump out of the water and enter certain tunnels throughout one of the stages. When you first start the game, your tail swish isn't that strong. It takes 2 hits to bubble up an enemy. But after opening up some chests lying around, you'll grab pearls. Each pearl you grab has a different power, making your swish stronger, so that only 1 hit will bubble up enemies. The red pearls are the ones that will power up your swish, while the green one will make them go further. Using the tail swish on sand will allow you to brush up some items like a heart, a dinglehopper, a green shell, and a snarfblat. The dinglehopper and snarfblat are only used for points and nothing else. A few other things lying around the game are the green shells, which are actually required to open up chests that give you power-ups. Certain screens have more than 1 chest on them, and only one will have something in it, so choose wisely. The green shell is also a lifesaver. If you just swim around with it in your hands, you can kill things without even throwing it. The story for the game is pretty straightforward and what you think it would be. Even though it takes place on the bottom of the ocean, doesn't mean it has to have much depth to it. Ariel, the princess of the sea, falls in love at first sight with the human that she saves. Ariel asks the evil Ursula to give her legs so she can walk on land. Shortly after meeting Eric, he too falls in love with Ariel and plans on marrying her. One day, when randomly sitting by the ocean, Sebastian, Flounder, and Scuttle return to Ariel with bad news in hand. The manipulative Ursula casts a spell that forced all the ocean life to do her bidding. The only person left that could stop her is Ariel. If she didn't help, the ocean would be run by the evil witch. After explaining to her Prince Eric that she was a mermaid princess, she decides to return to the murky ocean and try to break the spell that Ursula cast on her friends. On return to the ocean, you come to find that none of your fish friends really want to sing songs or play anymore, but instead they're just grumpy and want to see you dead. The first stage, Sea of Coral, is a great stage to break you in and teach you the controls right. You're on the coral reef and the only enemies you will see is some fish, and they are fairly easy to tackle. The boss of this area is a shark and is simple to beat. You bubble up some fish friends and throw them at it. The second stage, the Sunken Ship, is filled with ghost fish, crusty crabs, and slimy eels. This is also the first stage that allows you to push stones and barrels around. You can also jump on land to push something into the water. The Sunken Ship is a little longer than the Sea of Coral, but not by much. Hell, the whole game can be beaten within 20 minutes. There are 2 boss figures on this stage. It's the 2 scummy eels. Beating them is easy, but they have a weird hitbox. If even their eyes touch you, you will die. And this is where I like to think the game really starts. The Sea of Ice is just that. A cold stage with icy caverns and slippery surfaces. You'll be jumping out of the water a lot on this stage, as it is required to get past certain parts. Be careful though, on this stage you will start sliding across the surfaces, so don't get caught slipping, or else it's the deep fryer for Ariel. If you drop a green shell in the depths below, you can forget about it forever. Unless you swim off screen and come back. And then there it is again. Nintendo logic. There are a lot of fake treasure chests in this stage. And the boss of this area is the Walrus. He is a little different to fight, as he is not in the water. He slides green shells off the ledge and frozen fish as well, and you can throw the shells back at him, but the frozen fish will do damage to you, so don't try to grab them. Coming from such a cold place, this stage is going to make those scales sweat! The underground volcano is hot and full of active volcanoes. There is a ton of fake treasures in this stage too, so be careful where you use those shells. The worst enemy in the game is on this stage, the lobsters. They swim around all harmlessly until you get close enough. Then they home in on your direction and push towards you. This can be really hard to dodge, and there is no real way of knowing where they will go next, so steer clear of them if you can. Another thing you have to watch for is the halibut that are hiding in the sand, so look for those eyes in the sand before you start digging for anything. The big boss on this stage, Soldier Fish, is hiding away deep in the Spanish galleon. With cannons loaded full of your fish friends and some spike balls, it's time to arm yourself with a friend and take him down. The final stage of the game is Ursula's castle. This can tend to be a big maze if you don't know what you are doing. You can find these snake-looking doors that allow you to pass through them, taking you to another room. There is a certain pattern you need to enter these doors though, otherwise you just get sent in a big loop. All you really have to do is enter the tunnels that have the eyes lit up. This can be really easy to navigate if you have the manual to the game. It tells you what to do right on the page. Just like all the other bosses, Ursula is no different. You throw some of your fish friends at her in a hurry to help some of your other fish friends that haven't been used as a weapon in this game. Once beaten, she takes a bigger form. That's all it really is though, bigger. There is still the same amount of threat here, if that's what you want to call it. In this fight, fish swim from both sides of the screen while Ursula changes the direction of the water that is flowing. It can be a little annoying at times, but that doesn't make it hard. You hit her with a couple of more fish friends and the game is over. After defeating Ursula and releasing her friends from the spell, there is no way for Ariel to get her legs back. She just defeated the only person who can cast that spell. Ariel's father saw she was deeply saddened, knowing she won't be able to return to her prince. So he cast a spell on her to make her human once more. Running out of the ocean, returning to her prince, they got married and lived happily ever after. So what'd you guys think of my Valentine's Day February review of Little Mermaid? Anyway, I hope you guys really enjoyed that. I worked really hard on it, and it was quite the undertaking to really write the script out for this and stuff like that. It was a lot to take in because there's not too much to the game to really speak about, so I had to kind of just come up with stuff on my own like I usually do. And I really hope you guys enjoyed my creative mind, if it is even creative, I don't know, but I really hope you guys enjoyed it. And I'll be bringing you another review next week, and stay tuned. And as always, I'm Rewind Mike, and thanks for watching.